Mhm. Okay, guys. Hi. If you have not watched our the Maya's video, please watch the video before this one. I just finished it and it's gonna. I'm showing it up right now. Okay, so today on the Facebook, I decided to start doing my what I call my business with Chisom. So I said I wasn't going to be doing, or rather, I'm not going to continue with my business story session. So this is not my business story session. This is a business tip before I get on with my relationship topics, right? So this is for people who are corporate communication heads, marketing managers, freelance business owners, entrepreneurs, anybody who is committed to selling their company's product or their personal product, okay? And this is something that has worked for me, or rather I have used and have done over the last 13 years as an influencer, as a blogger, right? And it's something I also do for clients, but why not? There's love in sharing, so I'm sharing. I already wrote it on Facebook today, so I'm going to do a sort of some of these kind of tips going forward. So it's a PR tip. First of all, you need to learn how to write. Somebody who has a product or a service, you understand, your connection to the brand by having a brand story, something convincing that will help somebody to want to buy from you. You have a sales page, maybe a one-page website where people can get the details of the product and they can also actually buy. And then you have a picture of the product or service or your picture. The next thing you need to do is to get ahead and write a press release. Now, a press release is worded differently. It is also written, the structure is also different from regular features, interviews, and the rest. Okay, so go ahead and write a press release about your product. First of all, what I advise is that you first of all look at your business product or service as something that is a gift and a non-disposable offer for humanity, because whoever it is that needs what it is that you sell is actually grateful that you exist. So some people make this mistake all the time, like, oh, because I'm charging money for this training, or because I'm selling this XYZ amount, they feel like they're not doing charity, they're not helping people, they are profiting themselves. And as if profiting themselves actually means you're greedy, you're not humanitarian, you don't love people. That's this totally wrong perception. And that's what has also driven a lot of young people to go start, non-governmental organizations, NGOs, and then they start struggling, looking for who to donate, disturbing people. When, they don't even have a source of income, but that's the gist for another day. But for you, who is a profit-driven person, one of the ways to get visibility for what it is that you do and be able to cash out on what you do is to position yourself as a global brand, as somebody whose services are solving your country's problem or your continent's problem or the global problems. Very, very, very important. Now, writing a press release will help you to understand how to write. All you have to do is to write about your product, about yourself and your product without advertising. There is a word you use for advertising that will come off as salesy. Of course, advertising language is salesy. You don't sound salesy like you want to sell something. You're writing it from the humanitarian point of view, how your service or your product is solving humanity's greatest problems, and how you are positioned as a person to make sure that you deliver on your service and help a lot more people buy your products. That doesn't mean you're going to say you're offering the product for free, or something like that, but it is you writing in a way that is projecting the humanitarian aspect of what it is that you do and plugging it to to the problem it can solve, and solving that problem people can see how society can be better, because people access your product. When you write it that way, or the next thing to do is you should have researched journalists, bloggers, news carriers in your niche. So let's say your product is about training young people in leadership, for instance. Leadership is such a big area, okay? So what you have to do is to explain how young people learning leadership skills will translate to more informed followers and leaders tomorrow that will make your country or your continent economically viable. Okay, so the fact that what you sell is leadership trainings and all of that should automatically, be explained in a way that when people access your training, these are the skills they get, these are the testimonials of those who have gone through your training. And with people, with this number of people going through your program in the next, you make some permutations in the next 10 years or so, your country is going to be filled with people who have, gotten this kind of skill, and this is what the outcomes positively are going to be. So, and that goes to everything. Even if you sell shoes, for instance, shoes that help people look smart, look confident, go close the deals, then you can tie it to see how that the more confident people we have, the more people dress the way they want to be addressed, the more people are conscious about their image and all of that, there's be more appreciation for what it is that they do, and that way there'll be more appreciation, there'll be more profit for them in the way it attracts people to them, and that way more people understand sales, more people understand how to drive their personal brand or their business and have more outcomes, and that leads to the economic viability of a country. Yes, I'm sure somebody will say, look at what she's saying, see how she's saying it, but it's the truth. The truth is that everything you do, even if you sell comedy, like you actually make people laugh. Do you know how much $1 million that industry is right now? If you make people laugh, there's a lot of depression in the land. So imagine people always come to your show or see your skits. How much people you're making happy translates to a happier country. It translates to less hospital bills. It translates to a lot of things that are, that are good for the health. So you can tie your comedy to healthy living for a country to thrive. Okay, so if you understand that and you put it that way, go look for the journalists and newsmakers who are writing on your niche, right? Bloggers inclusive. Then all you have to do is, after you're done with this press release, at least 2,500 words is okay. You can then send it to them via email. You should have gotten their emails by now. You can't send a comedy brief to an editor who is publishing politics, for instance, or fitness. You know what I mean? So it must be that you have researched them, get the email addresses and phone numbers of editors in your niche. So you send it to them and ask them that, oh, you think that what you do will benefit their audience, right? Since people already read their columns and their blogs, right? So that way, if they share, of course, they're going to link back to you, and it's going to give you more links, more credibility. And if you want to do a Wikipedia page, you actually need a third-party media like this to talk about what it is that you do to help you become like a notable person, because not everybody can have a Wikipedia page, for instance, right? It does much more to you as well. It positions you as a global brand. It positions you as somebody who is serious in their business. That way, you are in the news on different platforms at the same time. That same week, they are all going to use it. So let's say you reach out to 20 or so more media people. The possibility is at least 5 will respond, and they're going to use it and send you links. Okay, that way you'll be in the news for the right things. And if you know how to garner the publicity, you go ahead and amplify it. So imagine you do this, anytime you have a new product, you have something to say, you have a new recruit, you have new offers, you're about to launch something in your company, or you send out this press release, and you maintain a relationship with these media people, you are going to see the difference it makes in your business. If you're going to use this tip, please give me a thumbs up, share this video, share with somebody who will totally benefit from it, and do subscribe to this channel. Do make sure you put on notifications on all, so that you can catch the next tip I have for you. Okay, so catch you in my next tip.